Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron IV Kaiserreich as the French Republic. Let's continue on from last left off. So, our plans to invade Morocco, and by that I mean using these special events, probably is not going to be happening just because the requirements are a little bit too demanding. Like, I don't imagine a situation anytime soon where the German Empire just collapses and dies. It doesn't seem like that's on the table, at least not anytime soon. So, they have not prepared their war against Bulgaria quite yet. I mean, 150 political power. Immediately go up to partial your 200 points. I'm gonna wait for 200 points to get our way to partial mobilization, I think. So Mexico's declared a war on Yucatan. That's fine. I don't think we need to really worry about that too much. Oh, and the Soviet Union's declared a war on Russia. Okay. So French authorities in Jacques Banville died today in Algiers. Follower Charles Maurice, who fall to Africa. Minus 20 political power. Well, I'm just trying to militarize up the economy, and you're making things a lot more difficult, my friend. We got more wars going on. Right now, I still would not be able to send volunteers anywhere because you need 20 divisions for that. So I can't help out. Oh, maybe I can, actually. We can send him 1,000 rifles. Do I even have 1,000 rifles? I don't. I can send manpower. That's fine. The crisis in Russia has reached a frightening level of intensity. Once more, the red and white forces are at war. We've seen the horrors of the Bolshevism before. And though our own workers may not like it, it's probably our best interest to help the legitimate Russian government. Well, we'll send in volunteers and rifles. I don't know what that does, to be completely honest. And we'll see. There's a good chance that Russia just declares war on every single one of its neighbors during this conflict, because they have a tendency to do that. But I don't know. We'll see. I've never seen the Soviets actually win the Civil War. I'm sure they do sometimes, but I've never seen it personally. We're back. I mean, is there a reason to wait to 200, not just go for here first, and then just get... Yeah, we'll just do this first, and we'll just wait for another 100 points. Because we need to militarize. We need to militarize and show those big old meanies in Paris who is the real France. And as soon as these are done, of course, we're going to go straight up into building some more military factories up here in the north. We don't actually have a lot of building slots right now as the French Republic. We are very, very much lacking in that kind of a field. The Concentrated Industry 1. I actually got 3 techs all done on the same day. Fantastic. Unfortunately, our bonus is going to be wasted on Infantry Equipment 1. I kind of wish we could be able to save it for weapons, too. I should have thought about this a little bit better. But we'll get this one, even if it's like a year... Like a year and a bit ahead of time. Yeah, so you're way too advanced. So we'll get radio here. And then we're going to go for Destruction 2. I mean, we're in October. How much is that? It's 50% more expensive. But it's still around base cost, which is, I think, alright. I think it's okay. Paying a little bit extra. It might not be the most efficient way to manage my researches, but I think it's okay. I think overall, it'll work out. Do we actually get more... Okay, we do get an extra research slot here. Do we get one anywhere else? No, we don't. That's disappointing. I thought there was a chance that maybe we'd be able to do something else. Another... Okay, no. So let's see. What are your numbers looking like? We have about 150 divisions against probably about 75, so it seems... Again, pretty one-sided, but it depends on if Russia declares war on, like, the Don Kuban unit and the Lasha Orda. Or Finland, but I guess they didn't do it. They just kind of took the territory. They couldn't stop them. This is Brazil, not France. Our manpower is low. I understand that. But there's nothing I can really do. Like, I can't go too extensive until we're at war. So I can't get more recruited population right now. I mean, we're France in exile. It's actually a negative 50% penalty, which is pretty bad. I guess I'm just gonna keep going to all these. Just let's get this one tree done. I've noticed that Bataan is still the leader of the French Republic, and that they have not actually lost. And like he's not been voted out yet. I don't know when the election is supposed to be. Okay, so Huey Long is the president. Which means that... I mean, it means the Civil War is going to happen, but probably that the South has a higher chance of actually winning. Does this ever go away? I don't think it ever goes away until, we return to Paris, right? Yeah. That's going to be difficult. Could also demand some more territory. You get extra research stuff, but by the time you're down here, the campaign's basically over, so I don't know why you would need that slot. Like, that doesn't really seem like it would make a huge difference overall to the actual campaign. Yeah, we got low manpower. So we just have basically a permanent negative 50%. And that's fine, you know? I'm sure the French Republic's probably, like, maybe one of the more challenging countries to play as, mostly because your manpower pool is pretty limited. And, I mean, are you all considered cores? Okay, they are all considered core states, which is a little bit better than what I was thinking, where just, like, North Algeria is considered a core. Which realistically should be the case, like, only this area right here should be considered core, and maybe down here in Dakar. But other than that, they should all just be colony states. You know, and once we get this done, this one's only a 56 day. Actually, these are all 56 days, which is actually quite nice. And then we can get some bonuses here. Production efficiency cap going up, research speed going up, factory output going up, and I know it'll be modified again by this, which will be pretty good. And also, I mean, I want that extra research slot. I think there's industrial expansion as well, getting these military factories, getting dockyards, getting a bunch of free resources. You know, civilian factory, or civilian factories from this one. A lot of actually really good things here. Okay, so become a liberal republic. I've noticed that Bataan is still in charge. So I have no idea when the election event fires. If the election event fires, like I would imagine that it would. But so far it hasn't. Okay, Mongolia has gotten a lot bigger. Not a huge surprise. I mean, they've always won this war. I don't think I've ever seen Maklik win. I mean, they're fighting a two-front war, so that does seem like it'd be very, very difficult to actually get done. Let's see, is anybody else doing anything too crazy right now? Probably not. Military build-up, state atheism, a mission to Norway. Interesting. What does that do? I guess that makes Norway... yeah, some influence. We got an extra research slot. Let's go for... minis are a little bit cheaper, which is nice. I mean, it's 1937, so we should, again, just be making our industry better. So we need as many weapons and equipment as we possibly can get our hands on. We're at least in the positive right now for rifles, but... we're still like 3 years... Not 3 years, but we're still about like 2-ish years off of getting our artillery ready. 124 days for you. We're not even building tanks right now, so that's also going to be a problem. So we're going to cut down military on our factory here by 1, so we can at least start producing tanks in any measurable degree. And hopefully 2 Sicilies will actually join our faction at some point. Okay, so the Republic is there. Restoration of the monarchy. Yeah, but they're probably going to join Austria's faction. Wouldn't be surprised by that. Is Ukraine or anything going... I mean, you're just reestablishing democracy. What does that do exactly? It might actually get them out of the the Reichspakt, which might lead to a German invasion of them. So we got the good old-fashioned American Civil War right now. The CSA, American Union States, and the Pacific States. Right now, the CSA has 3 divisions. Seems like a pretty bad situation for them to be in, I will say. But eventually, you know, they'll get more and more volunteers as time goes on. Or they'll just die immediately. But yeah, as you can see, the American Union States taking a bunch of territory, mostly because Huey Long was the elected member. He was elected president, so that just give him a little bit of a boost. And now we have our nice little government right here. And we can go for the industrial expansion, because we desperately need that to go in the right direction. So it looks like the Soviet Union is actually pushing their way out into Russia proper. The Canadians have sent volunteers to the Whites. Not a surprise there. Are you getting volunteers? Yes, you are. Germany's also backing the Russian army. So we'll see what happens there. Again, I only have 17 divisions, so I can't send volunteers. I say can as soon as these guys deploy. Then I'll be able to send some volunteers to help them out. It looks like they might actually be in a situation where they might actually need it. I'll send in like a tank division, I guess. That seems like it would be the most beneficial. So one of my tanks here. Yeah, let's put him into a new army. I know we have some panzer leaders. There we go. I'll put him under you. He'll be in charge basically of all the tanks in the country. Because he gets a nice little bonus to them. Okay, so the American Civil War has begun. How many men do you start off with? 11 to 29, 2047. Okay, we can actually vote who wins. So who has won? Well, right now, the radicals have the most votes. The DRA, Action Francais, or the radicals? Yes, the Marquis Liberal. You're Marquis Liberal, right? Yeah, so they'd be the one who gets the most votes. Apparently, the Solidarity, where these guys are, actually did not run at all. So the Marquis Liberals have won the election. So good for them. I mean, they have the most votes, right? I think that sounds like democracy. So it is, again, March 1937. Let's go for... I mean, our research speed would be nice, but it's probably a little bit too early for that. So let's get our machine tools. And Patton is actually still the leader. So does voting for a new president actually not do anything? It'd be a little bit strange if that's actually the case. Oh, no, there we go. Presidential elections. Okay. We'll look at that in a second. We're going to get 6 infrastructure. But I'm actually surprised how much factories you get out of this. There's 6, 8... 9 factories, like 9 civilian. No, 11. You actually get 12 civilian factories out of this and 6 military, as well as like 3 dockyards. This is actually like an incredibly powerful little tree right here. It'll essentially double the amount of factories we have. So time has come to elect a new president. All major forces in the country have put together their candidates. So who will you vote for? Marshal Patton, 2% stability. Democracy goes up a little bit. Conservatism. I mean, the Marquis Liberals won, so it seems like they would... yeah, no, they by far the most support, so we'll elect him as well. This very, very kind of sad-looking man. Okay, so let's go for... Mass Assault's not going to work, so we can go for superior firepower for this one. I mean, as you know, as a country that has very few men, we don't want... We don't want to be in a situation where we're relying on getting a lot of manpower ready to go. You know what? I'm going to deploy these guys immediately. Reinforcements are, of course, top priority. But that should mean I have 19 divisions, right? Yes. Or over 20, I should say. So, I'm going to send a volunteer. We're going to send 2 divisions. We're going to send some volunteers to the Russians. Help them try to beat back the Soviets, because we can get a Russia that's on our side. That seems very useful. But, you know, most of the time it doesn't really seem like the Russians actually ever join the Entente. They always do their own thing. So maybe sending volunteers there is not actually going to benefit us in any real way. But not having the Soviet Union join the International definitely is in our best interest, I would imagine. Because I don't want Germany to fight a two-front war. You know, that just seems bad for us. What are you for right now? Research speed. Oh, construction speed going up? Yes, absolutely. So the rise of the Socialist Anti-Colonial Committee. Our counterintelligence specialists have noted the recent surge in syndicalist activity in our country. We know that the Commune of France, together with the Union of Britain, have established the Anti-Colonial Committee in the International, which until recently has been practically dead. This committee, with the help of Salmahan Armi, I cannot read that, a traitor of the Algerian people, is coordinating the efforts made by the syndicalists in support of anti-colonial sentiments in French Africa. How dare you? I mean, 2% stability is not that bad, honestly. But that's probably going to lead to those events where little guys pop up and try to overthrow us. Okay, so you guys are up here then. We're going to send you guys over here. And hopefully we can try to break through the Soviet line, get our way at least back to, you know, Novgorod, Petrograd, Moscow. You know, places that we want to be. Again, how many troops do you have? You have a lot. So we are going to mostly be having to back up the Russians. But hopefully our tanks and motorized divisions can maybe try to sneak their way through. You know, fingers crossed on that one. And the war in South America has begun. But that's okay. We don't have to worry about that too much. Oh, there's actually a lot of Soviet troops here, huh? 5 and 5 divisions in both of those little areas. Well, like we see, we've got some German troops here. The Canadians are mostly down here. So how do we really push through anybody? That's a great question. It's actually like the most important question. We get some more infrastructure. And Switzerland, you just had a revolution. Or it said you did. I'm not too sure, actually. It always says they have a revolution, and then they haven't actually changed government types. The government... Oh, our actually is going to go become nationalist. Oh, no. So you're actually going to national populist. I don't think I've ever seen Nat Pop Switzerland. I mean, as far as I know. Oh, yeah. So definitely can't trade with the United States anymore because they more or less don't really exist as a country. And I'm assuming, yeah, most of their ports have been cut off, and they are dead as hell. If I like to try to push my way through, their defenses are quite high. So we'll get a planning bonus at least. Like, we'll push our way through here. But I don't see anything really working out there. Oh, and the Spanish Civil War is broken out. So who owns this territory? It's the Kingdom of Spain. So I can also send volunteers to you as well. And I'm going to. So we'll send these 2 troops underneath another infantry expert. Infantry leader, yes. And I'm going to send you to the Carlists because they're the ones that actually join our faction. And also, you know, we get some experience doing this. Our troops be a little bit better when the time comes for an actual major war. Like, maybe I should have saved these tanks to send to Spain instead, because those would have been, you know, a more important fight, having a allied Spain as opposed to having an allied Russia. But I think for right now, this is going to be a good time to end this episode. So thanks for watching. My name is Anthem. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. If you're not enjoying, you can always thumb down. If you want to subscribe, and goodbye.